My name is Jakes, and welcome to my world. For those that missed the previous episode, we covered the building of the basic tower, which you can see in the background. It produces iron rods, iron plates, copper sheets, wire, cable, and screws. On the left is Smelter Town, that produces all the ingots I might need. That gets fed onto the bus, which will then supply all the future factories that's going to be built alongside it. Speaking of future factories, the next one up is going to be a steel factory, doing steel pipes, steel beams, and encased industrial beams. And I think we're going to put it right here. Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I plan out a factory. So this is Satisfactory Modeler. In this case, we can go for encased beams, steel pipes, and steel beams. So in order to get this, just open it up, blank canvas, double click anywhere, type in what you want to do, your end product. So it's going to be encased. We should see it on the list. Encased industrial beam. There we go, that's the one. Double click again for the other product. It's going to be steel, so steel pipes, and then again we go with steel beams. So there you go. As to how much you need of each item, for me currently this is just for the basic buildings that I'm going to do, so you're not going to need a lot, but this will mostly be dictated by the amount of supply that you have in your area. So for instance, let's go with say 50 and 50 again and 50 again. Here you can see it's going to give you, you're going to need 150 steel, 300 concrete, 75 steel ingots, and another 200. So just to simplify this a bit, what you can do is drag this out. So what I usually do is, if it says steel ingots, like this is not going to be part of my factory, this is Smelter Town, so this is going to be separate, so I'm going to drag it off to the side. But it tells you 75 coal, 75 steel ore. But what you can do is you can combine these two so that you can see in one tab how many you need in total. But obviously we need steel up here, so let's figure this one out as well. So drag it out there, it's going to give you your alternative recipes in blue, or it's going to give you the standard recipe. So we're going to go standard for now. So if I want to do 50, I'm going to need 600 steel ingots and plus 200 plus 75, so that's going to be 875, and at the moment I'm only doing 900 in total. So in order not to choke up everything for just that amount, we're going to try and minimize that amount a little bit and maybe play with these two as well. So just show you, put it all in there, and you can also move these ones individually if you like. So that's a lot of steel. We're not going to need that many of these items because these are mostly at the end of the day going to end up in your dimensional storage, so you don't need a ton of these. Anyways, the one thing I also do is I check the number of end product units versus the cost resource wise.
The next criteria is going to be how many machines you need. So in this example, you'll see you're going to need 3.33 machines, which translates into 4, and just underclocked them for 100% efficiency.
If that's your aim. If not, you can just put 4 down. If you have at least more than the minimum amount, round it down to the closest machine number, then you're good to go. 2.5, so it's going to be 3 constructors, 4 constructors, and assemblers is going to be 9 assemblers. But let's change these numbers around a bit. These are the actual numbers that I settled on at the end of the day. It's going to be 30 encased beams, 80 steel pipes, and 60 steel beams. Here you can see I've got 5, 4, and 4, 12. So it's going to be, that's 18, and that's only going to be 8. So let's switch them around and do something more like this. So that's going to be 12 constructors. So in my building, my idea is to split them into 2 wings on the side at a slight angle. So for the first floor, which is going to be this left hand side, that's going to be 6 constructors on the one side, 6 constructors on the other side. Then for this floor here, you're going to have 10, 14, so it's going to be 7 on the one side and 7 on the other side. And then if your final floor is going to be 5 assemblers, because of the way that I'm going to build with 2 sides, I might as well just do this to 6 and then underclock it to get down to the 30 I need. So we're back in the world now, and my idea is to have the factory kind of like somewhere over here in this region here, with the road going out, splitting off to the left and splitting off to the right. So, like I said originally, there's going to be a road going alongside the bus. So let's just map it out quickly, just so we don't get anything wrong, because I'm kind of using the bus and by extension the road as my guide where to build, just to make sure that everything is lined up correctly. Right, I think about, obviously this will change, you can change this as you go around, but I think about here will do. So let's get the center point. It's going to be this one, and I'm also going to do the sides, or the little declines, and do 2 rows, one into the factory, one out of the factory. And in this case, we're just going to do 4 long and 4 long again. So there we're going to go. We're going to have 2 of those, and we'll push in, and then have this sections where the actual factory will be. Right. So as for the layout, I'm going to go. Let's just. Okay. There we go. So to get the bend, squeeze it out a little bit on this side, and for this one I want it to be, let's get some elevation going here. I want to go about 3 out and 3 out, and then 1 in, 1 in, and let's get our center point. It's going to be there. Go to freeform and connect that edge to the center point to the edge. And if you just copy that middle mouse button, just in case you guys weren't aware, you can just look at any item, press middle mouse button, and you'll be able to sample that item and build it from there. So if we grab this one, the nice thing about using the beams is that you can place something on the center, and once you place it on the center, you then have a very good idea of how to manipulate it, and it will be in proportion to how you place it. So it won't be like off like a millimeter or like half a meter to the left, right, up or down. It's pretty much center. So let me show you what I mean. So if I place it there, I press H to hold it in, move it over 2, move it over 2, and you're right on the edge. But let's go up to there, place that one in, and then just fold it up to there. Same story on this side. Press H, 2 times forward, 2 times right. Let's just lock it in and then move it over. And then if you now look, right, so there's your center point. Probably gonna have the elevator there at the back. So, whoops, elevator at the back, and machines going down this way and this way. So obviously I'm gonna need to extend this, but this, along with Satisfactory Modeler, will help you plan out the factory so you don't have to break down and redo things constantly, and it will save you a ton of time with just a little bit of planning beforehand. Right, so this level here, let's actually, so that's gonna be, yep, that's gonna be level. So these are the roads coming into the factory, and we're gonna have to expand this quite a bit. So let me experiment a little bit with these, and we'll get back to this. And voila, there we go. So exactly as before, go 4 down. This is where the gates are going to be, right there, and so these I usually do about 4 high just to clear that little section there. Oh my word, calm down. Where's this guy? Anyways, yeah, so usually that's about 4 up. I think this can be slightly higher. Let me show you. Oh no, it's exactly. To get the garage roof, basically, it's going to be 4 up. Then you've got a logistics floor right there. That's going to be another 2 up. And then the first production floor right there. That's going to be 3 up, and then you put down the roof. So I usually do the floors first, just to give me an idea of how high or how tall the building will be. Similar to that one over there, I did all the, let's call it the skeleton of the building, and then I put down all the machines. So here you can see I've got the 7 machines here. Let's go have a look there. So that will be the concrete, and there we go, concrete. And then all these machines, oops, will do all the concrete and lifted them up from here to go up to where they're supposed to go to the assemblers. I might do conveyors going up there, or lifts, or even on the side conveyors going from the edge all the way through. Sometimes navigating in the early stages is going to be quite difficult. I'm well looking forward to my jetpack and the hover pack. This makes life so much more convenient. Alright, so there we go. Our 7 machines, as we planned on Satisfactory Modeler, our 6 steel machines, and our assemblers up there. And like I was saying, the elevator is going to be going up there at the back, and we've got our vehicle access for the 3 products that we're going to do. Alright, Steel Factory is done. I think the only thing I still need is just a sign of sorts saying Steel Production, Steel Factory, Steelosaurus, or something in that line. But yeah, this little addition, which I just added to, well, which I'm going to add to all my buildings, this is effectively my jetpack slash hoverpack landing zone if you want to enter the building from the highway section, or the bus, or coming from wherever. You can land here, you've got a door, and then you can step right into the factory. Right, let me show you guys around. So we've got our display sections here for all the items pushing up. We've got steel pipes, steel beams, and the concrete line. A lot more heading up. Alright, suppose we can sprint. Got our constructors on the side. Got some lights going down. Once I unlock the plastic, I can do coated concrete, which will just give it a bit more of a finish. Right, as you guys see, this is how I do my elevators. So at the bottom, you've got the garage, you've got production floor. Correction, you've got logistics floor, production floor, logistics, production, and so on and so on. First production floor. Alright, let me show you. So I've got first production and first logical floor. So we go to logic floor, or logistics. There we go, logistics floor. And then from here you can go, let's get to the other logistics floors.
It's nice of you to come by. It can get pretty boring here.
Yeah, you know. Right, the third logistics floor. So I like my clean, walkable, and neatly laid out logistics floors. I usually use a different kind of light, or different color light, just to designate logistics floors. And then I usually have some sort of white or blue light for my production floors. Right, let's go to the third production floor. There we go. and this will be our encased beams. That's pretty much it. Actually, let me go show you the ground floor or the garage. This factory doesn't really have a lobby as such. It's more or less integrated into the vehicle access area. And here we go. So vehicles can push in here. Originally I did have depots here where the vehicles will offload the items, but because I'm using this bus to feed out all the items, currently just going to a sink, I'm not going to do the vehicles for this one. I actually had a change of plans. You see the basic tower also has vehicle access at the bottom with the same idea, but we're going to keep that one. Obviously it's already done, but for future builds I might reconsider putting in a garage for vehicle collections, but it might be for that and for these like office areas. So this is one thing I'm also going to be putting into all my buildings. First of all, you've got the power. So this steel factory, I'll show you guys, is currently doing 303 megawatts, and at the moment I've only got 2 buildings. I need to put the smelter on here as well, also including the steel smeltery and all the other smelteries, but I only recently unlocked the power to power switch. But what I usually do is, if you want to figure out how much power your factory pulls, shut it down. When it's separated from the grid, it will tell you the max consumption for only the grid it's attached to. Obviously, just jack it up again, and there you go. This is a blueprint. All these blueprints I will be adding onto my Discord, so if you want to check out the blueprints I've done, if you like something that I've done before, I will make a blueprint of it. Like for instance this section here, I'll make a blueprint of it as well, and I'll put it on my Discord and you guys can just freely grab it there. Alright. Oh, one more thing is I still need to put on the belt counters. I haven't unlocked those yet, and apparently in the new update for 1.1 these ones will be fixed. I want to say 100%, but let's see. Yeah, just a visual indicator of exactly what's going on here. Max production 60, 30 and 80. Alright, so I did do, hello guy, I did do a lot of changes on the roads. Well, on the road not so much, but I managed to finish the lobby for my basic towers. I'm going to show you guys that. That's pretty cool. But first, let me show you this little one. I kind of like these. So my idea was to go for roads, but I didn't want to do road markings, just because everybody does road markings, and I wanted them more of a sleek, kind of like futuristic look. So instead of just a normal lamppost, I went with these kind of like double sign roads, so just a light shining on top of here for the roads, just to give it a different look, a bit more of a futuristic feel to it. And then instead of road markings, I've got these signs showing you where you go. So basically you got no-go signs and you got go signs. So wherever you see a go sign, you can drive. So I'll give you an example. If you come out of here, I should really take a vehicle. If you come out of here, you can't turn right, you can turn left. Alright, crossing over, oh, I can turn right, but I can't turn left. And that's basically how you figure out exactly where to go, and that's also how I'll record my paths for all my vehicles. Alright, let me show you the basic tower. Alright, basic tower, I managed to get some lights. Unlocked all the lights, the floodlights, the roof lights, street lights as well, though I'm not really using street lights. But as before, we've got a little landing zone for the jetpack, so quite looking forward to my jetpack / hoverpack. So you got a nice little landing, a nice little entrance here leading into the lobby, and now we can actually see quite a lot. So I've got 2 of those lights up there, just doing like a soft blue light. Crossing down, yeah, now you can clearly see all the resources, and we've got a little monitoring stations here. There we go. So we've got this factory's power, and then everything that's being produced here, so you can visually do like an inspection, put a count on there, make sure everything's running good. Right, so again, iron plates, iron rods, screws, 600, 150 and 200 per minute, and the other side is just showing the other half of the production. And in here I've also set up my lights. Yeah, so we've got all our products coming through: cable, copper sheet and wire production. And as you can see, this waterfall of conveyor belts, it's just absolutely glorious. If you like this kind of content, then please like and subscribe or drop me a comment. Also, be sure to join my Discord, where you can grab a blueprint or just say hi. And join me on my next video, where I'll be building a massive 20-story tower factory.